Alright, ebusia sad news atodwa Bukom Arena. Enra enwumre na enya asem ketwa kra. Ghanaian boxer ene Nigerian boxer bi ede yantamu na enya asem ketwa. Na ene ade achiye no sad news. If you honum ba ye de hwe ne de latest nya no ababe some all platform so na Abrante ni din ede Joseph Prince Abrante na recover a washa ase a obo games ahodo edema LA Galaxy. But so far so good. Enema ensheda enkoye enfama LA Galaxy yede mu nkomo no eba besom all platform we so na yebeto so na the new NSA boss Mr. Yao Ampofo Ankra edi nkomo edefa Jordan Ayew ho unse Abrante and Jordan Ayew one player bia won shada enhu se oputi up a smiling face na eno na Mr. Yao Ampofo Ankra the new NSA boss wadi nkomo edefa ho afi oto so ebo nkomo edefa relationship NSA ne person obuild together with the sports ministry, which is Honorable Kofi Adams and also Obonkomo Accra ede efa ho na oto so edi nkomo edefa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama the impactor or impact blasters players in the two World Cup qualifiers games na etimi etodwa no ni nyina no ye de mu nkomo eba besom all platform we so eno nti baby will be a stick and stay, don't go anywhere but one thing say obe like video no na obe share link no so edema na enkomo no etimi aye kama so buso yenwemwe ne yemfa enkomo ni nyina no enhyase enfama ho na me hyase dia na me de wura mu MLS ni mu na since season no hyase no we say LA Galaxy the reigning champions MLS ni mu but this season no ometimi abomoden akọ winless per 6 matches ometimi abono emu bia ni ho LA Galaxy for no etimi apeke a single win honom na ohwe the last 6 games na omabona omabo tia San Diego eno San Diego esha omu 2-0 omabo ekotia Vancouver no so end 2-1 honom omoto aso ekobo St. Louis eno so end 3-0 honom matches ni nyina Louisiana LA Galaxy for no in Lucia ho omoto aso ekobo Portland eno so game no end 1-1 honom then Minnesota eno so ekoye 2-2 ho then eno game omotimi eboy anasa anwachi game omotimi eboy no omobo editia Orlando eno so Orlando for no echi LA Galaxy etwemo ekamienu emomutimu baako a eno so enye asem keto akrakra na ebusuan wohwe de ekone dia na se so far so good no enema enhyeda enkoye enfama LA Galaxy so Joseph Prince and the boys no so mo frase na omkeka omo ho but uni say Abrante say wa recover wa hyase ebo games ma LA Galaxy for so hopefully ye hear say Abrante na bounce back no betimi attend their fortunes around na bibi bia hyase awake edi amaomo eno so news eba ye de mu nkomo no some all platform we so na ebuso ye ni nkomo Bukom Arena na enoda na boxing bout etimi eba so na bout no na between one Ghanaian boxer and one Nigerian boxer na study boxing ekoso no na akutuku bone na weto na we yato prekope ni o se Ghanaian boxer no ato chese punch bia na emu edin papa na ekobo Nigerian boxer ne pe eho na Abrante no eto fo abusuan eno na da screen so a eye sad news etimi atodwa ho no enya asenketoti Abrante no eto fo no na ese omuye die se omuye bia Abrante etimi ansori a me no kasa ni die wato na nanom wonse do a enya asenketoti Nigeria boxer no sisi me no kasa ni Abrante enka tese fo asase hu biu eti abusua bia wo bia no na at the comment section no watimi adrop RIP honom na enkomo no etimi akoye honom boxing I don't know what I say a game where say so a mintimi ehu because this game no dey say all ball anase obi ball no obi etimi ewu fam but we no kra dey hwa say the nemasifa ekoya wonam so ewu ye no very sad honom tebusia just drop your RIP comment honom na enkomo no enkoye honom now yeni nkomo honom na enkomo ni nyina no ene the big game etimi atodwa in the Belgium league ni mo na the eba ene say ene 3 blasters players efesi honom a enya semketo Abrante ni din ede Majid Ashmeru okọ away akobo ede tia Circle Brugge na Circle Brugge hono ene ye 2 Ghanaian guys honom Abrante ni din ede Francis Abu yes Francis Abu esiakan ede ma Circle Brugge Abrante no in the World Cup qualifiers yenyina ehun ni mo de mo obebo ye iti ene game okobo ede tia Anderlecht which is Majid Ashmeru side no ye hwese obe put up a good show then Abrante ni din ede Lawrence Ajekum also ejremo edma Circle Brugge ti enano de baby a wo bia watch out for the outcome of that game because a be tight fixture and a 8 atodwa for the 3 Ghanaian guys ti abusuam bomoden se obetimi amonitor sa game no na bibi etimi ayede akoso de betodwa bia nso no yemfa enkame yetie for all platform we so na yentos ne korem the National Sports Authority akache na Mr. Yao Ampofo Ankra ena akodi enkomo e afa Abrante Jordan Ayew ho when say Jordan Ayew one player bia won say that who say Abrante S3 and I say put it up a smiling face na eno ena Mr. Yao Ampofo Ankra chese hwe pa say Abrante no okobo game bia one shada answer na eno no ema ni opponent any ni teammate ni na say Abrante no why eager to win why eager for success na sa face na putting up no de say pa na impokra no etimi eputi fear the man ni opponent and say me and Mr. Yao Ampofo Ankra the new NSA boss and come bring no dey to dwa yenko na yenko timra
in which the players went about it showed that they had the grit, and we have the men, as it were, and the captaincy issue seems to have dissipated, into the background, and the players that in the past we criticized for not showing up showed up. They showed leadership, and there was leadership across the pitch, which we've not seen in recent times. It's positive. I think, all in all, a lot of players can now look themselves in the mirror and say, okay, I can do better. The coach can now say that, yes, I can do better, and this is the standard. Let's keep, pushing to the next level. And I believe that there should be even more to come. There are challenges ahead. Comoros is playing very good, very, good football. They're very, it's a tight unit. They're well organized. Mali is a very good team, one of the top teams in Africa. We're yet to play all those teams. Central African Republic, they gave us a rough game. We beat them narrowly, 4-3. So it's not over, but with the attitude and the reset mindset, I think we can overcome and qualify. But we've not qualified yet, no.
Leadership in the Black Stars, it's something that has come up, year in, year out, regime in, regime out. What kinds of suggestions would you give to the technical team and its heads regarding the way to handle issues of who leads the pack? Because whether you like it or not, it is an item, it is an issue. So going forward for you, from where you sit and all the experience you've garnered around the world and following especially the Black Stars team, what would you want to suggest be done or is done for ensuring that as much as possible there's a certain standardized way or an SOP, standard operating procedure, for handing over, saying thank you symbolically to those who have served, so that we don't have any, negative omen around the team because somebody is bearing a lot of ill feelings towards the team because of these little incidents.
Yeah, I think it's a conversation that we don't often have. People shy away from. In the past, and you're very close to Stephen Tornado Appiah, and he would tell you that he had to make a lot of personal sacrifices for the team, and he accepted that because that comes with the office of the captain. When you're Black Stars captain, you should expect that you will be a target not only of the opponents you're going to face. You can't please everybody. But I think the selfless nature, character and attitude of Stephen Appiah was exemplary when he was captain. Others have come in with their own style. It may have worked, it may not. They've had relatively less success. But that is where Stephen Appiah coming in, Asamoah Gyan, the most recent Black Stars captains who've tasted the World Cup, their experience. So they can tell Jordan, this is what, Jordan is not the outgoing, or should I say exuberant, extrovert, but he's intense. One word from Jordan could be more than a speech by another captain. And if you look at his eye contact, when Jordan walks onto the pitch, he doesn't smile. And that is infectious. The players know that, hey, captain means business. When you're in the dressing room, you can feel that energy. So you need to give power to the players, the captain, the players who feed off it. There is a limit to where management, coaches, or a coach can go. There's a barrier. No matter how good a coach you are, you cannot scale it. No matter how good a coach you are, you can't enter that room, that space. It's reserved for now Jordan Ayew, Stephen Appiah, Asamoah Gyan, Andre Dede Ayew, Abedi Ayew Pele, CK Akono, Sami Kufuor, Tony Balfour, all these, John Mensah. They've been in that inner room. So in order to get to a place where you and I are not qualified, with all due respect, Coach Otto Addo, having played for the Black Stars, doesn't qualify to be in that captain's room. You've brought these guys in, let them do the job. And that could mean that Stephen, Asamoah, talk to the players in your inner sanctum. And that would work, rather than showing authority over them and allowing them to be. And we've seen that in the recent matches where the players have been given that room and they've embraced it, and they've been allowed to exhibit their power and skills. So we need to look at this and continue. And I think other players watching would also see this positivity and come on board to contribute, to help. I saw Sam Johnson, I saw a few other players, Augustin Ahim, for these other ex-players who are now, or even before, getting closer to support the Black Stars. That's the core of the issues that we're dealing with. Thankfully, we have a sports and recreation minister who understands the complexities of where we find ourselves. He's not an out-and-out sports administrator, but he has learned quickly. When you have a conversation with him, he actually understands what has gone wrong, where we are, and what we need to do. And perhaps in the past, the conversations were not had at that level, where you sit down, Mr. Minister, this is what we need to do, but because of these bottlenecks, we can't do it. Okay, so what do you need? Not, okay, but let's continue. That is the refreshing thing about the Sports and Recreation Minister, his openness and willingness to come in with ideas. So where we are, not just the law, not just the, what the Constitution would say, or the Act, Sports Act, or whatever it is, the willingness of the parties to actually work together is key. Because if you have a situation where we're just next door, but we don't have that vibe, there will be a problem. There are some neighbors who do not see eye to eye. They drive past each other, they don't greet. The minister walks from his office here just to check up, is everything okay? How are the floodlights? Constant engagement. And for the minister to have a way of succeeding where he's supposed to, he would have to entrust a lot of that responsibility where it is, but has not been in the past because of these differences that I explained. Sometimes I think it's also about personality clashes and politics of sports and power play and ego. I've not seen that, and I'm very grateful and thankful that the minister has already put in place measures to ensure that we are able to do what we can. He showed that before the match, allowing us to, take initiatives and just giving his blessing. Go ahead, phone call, this is what we need to do, go ahead. Okay, I'll be there in a minute. Call this person, you'll be there, and somebody comes through. The minister said, you have a challenge, I can help. That is it, that is practical. You can live that into the Sports Act, legislation, all the rest of it. If you don't have that rapport, that communication, you can write all the theses and what you're supposed to do, but it will come to naught. So for me, that interaction, that personal relationship is very key in delivering on what has been assigned us. Players needed that. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of question marks. So the president's view is that let the past, this is a new beginning. And as I said earlier, the reset is a state of mind, and then it becomes, you can apply it, and the players are not left out. you can't have a reset without the Black Stars. And the players are citizens, they're Ghanaians, including the coach. So the criticism, you and I, of Coach Otuado, of the players in the past, yes, valid, but what next? Guys, that was in the past. This is a new president, a new administration, a new era. I'm with you. I support you. Whatever it is, put it aside. Let's move on and be the Black Stars that we know. And that is why the minister was here constantly conveying the message to the presidency. You know, Mr. President, I think it would be good for you to be here. And of course, the president was here. It was you witnessed what happened. Asamoah Gyan, Stephen Appiah, others on the match day. We had the legends, Anthony Barfo. And the president told them that, look, I'm not concerned about the past. Sometimes you need to fail in order to learn valuable lessons. The players responded. The captain, on behalf of the players, said, we're not going to let you down, Mr. President. This means a lot to us. And they kept saying something that we do not take your visit lightly. We are not taking it for granted. And that goes back to what you said. It's not as if we're about to go to the World Cup or the AFCON. This was a training session to prepare for Chad. And the president felt that as a new beginning, as a commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, as your leader, the papa, you know, the first man of the land, guys, go out there and kill it. And he did. He said, go Black Stars, go. And that was it. And the players fed into that and they delivered. Not only that, they went outside to do it again, even more spectacularly. So the reset is in motion, but it has to be constantly put out there. We shouldn't take it for granted. We shouldn't lose sight of the fact that we can change it. It's not lip service, but we need to work hard at it. The players worked hard for it, the coach, and I think in a way it has removed a huge cloud hanging over the Black Stars. The GFA still have a lot of work to do. There are conversations that must be had with regards to management style, policies and direction. That's a different conversation. But per what I've seen in the last few days, there's a change. I can speak to it. Body language, you know, attitude, there's a change, which is positive. And if this can continue, a second chance for the FA to redeem themselves beckons. It doesn't mean, however, that things will be business as usual. What it means is that we're all going to support the drive, the reset by the president. Whatever we do to make sure the Black Stars qualify for the World Cup, we must do it. It's collective. It is not about Keto Kriku or the EXCO or the management or individuals. It's a collective effort. And you need to commend, you know, Dr. Randy Abbey leading the charge. Moses Arma Parker, he has a lot of experience. And all the other members on that board, Stephen Appiah, they've done a great job and they have to continue rising to the occasion. So a big thank you to the president, to the minister, and all those involved in making sure that he reached out and the players responded. Long may it continue.
All right, so National Sports Authority boss, Mr. Yao Ampofo Ankra, and I would say, oh, born in Como, Honum T, more criticizing Jordan and you say, Abranton on Tansre, no. According to NSA boss, no, or say, a yadiasa, a yepa, a bois, Emma Ubibia, who's Abranton, why you fully prepared for each game be with me about it, and also a someone opening no edit to jar. Now, you need 1 or 2 shoutouts, and for free, original not GH, baby, I will be a sports link, and a chapa papa, Mr. Peter Ahen. Once opening your chair papa pass all the message eba ye when so enter so enkoma Teflon Telon SFC TV once a big shout out to you Etia Joseph a big shout out to you now when so out so Edama Eric Tete a big shout out to you when so enter so Oscar Water a big shout out to you Sevanus your child the more thing Fan Fam a big shout out to you Manessa Fifi once we be a Ushibian bro your child and then Amanda Ofusia, a big shout out to Sammy K, a big shout out to Elijah Nana Sante, Andrew Morgan, the day you in the fan back and then Elijah Nana Sante, a big shout out to you. Then we so enter so Emma Benjamin Bedu, a big shout out to you, Benji, baby Ocean Piano, Sports Link Ghana, your child, another Benjamin, Sabi Pimuha, Benjamin Ayi, Once bebia Ushibiano Sports Link Ghana, ye hello de more ding. Prince Frimpong, a big shout out to you. Then SK Michael, a big shout out to you. Daniel Dean, a big shout out to you. Then Atta or say to two, a big shout out to Kwame Fojo, your chair papa. Then Dennis Lamte, a big shout out to you. When so enter so Samike, me the word no amadada. Malik Father, a big shout out to you. The when so out so Edema, Comlan Neboha, a big shout out to you, bro, baby. I wish you piano. Your chair Suraju Mahmoud, a big shout out to John Akasin. Once you chair papa. Abdul Aziz Adams, a big shout out to you. Then when so enter so Emma Justice Jumo, a big shout out to you. Then when so enter so Emma Lighting Services, a big shout out to you. Then when so enter so Masina, a big shout out to Kwaku Wilson. And if I say a big shout out to your chair papa. Then Al-Hagba, a big shout out to you. Sylvester Aminfo, a big shout out to you. Sylvester, baby, I wish you be on your child, the more than. Then Michael Agoko, a big shout out to you. Chicks, a big shout out to you. Then Kwame Fojo, Yedika Yamadada. Harriet Dente, a big shout out to Gordon Fiati, your child, the more than. Sadiq, a big shout out to Gideon, Ogidi, your child papa. Then we so enter so Enko Emma Sivanus Mediamount, Eric Mediamount, Solomon Minta, a big shout out to you. I'll be saying shout out in Asia, bidding at the Kobe, and I'll wait my friend Kofi Finest. It's Abishia.